So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our throwback rebuild series, and today it's the 2008 Houston Rockets. A user by the name of SportLegend4444 has been asking me for about 10 days now to do this throwback Rockets rebuild. I respect the commitment, I respect the hustle. Here today, I thought it would be a good idea to do this. Obviously, we have Yao Ming, we have Tracy McGrady on this team, and this was really their last kind of full season together. Obviously, some things went awry. Yao Ming got injured. Tracy McGrady also injured, had a bunch of other problems as well. But this is obviously a duo that never won a championship together, even though they were extremely talented. Our goal today within this 3-year rebuild is to hopefully build this team up to the point where we can actually win a championship. And finally, as always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. I've been absolutely loving these kind of throwback and historic rebuilds from, whatever years we've been doing. We've been doing a whole lot of them. So I'm always open to anything. Just the really biggest challenge for me is finding shared files, have somewhat or almost always a little bit inaccurate rosters. But I do my best. I try to find whatever you guys want to see. So let me know it down below in the comment section. Let's get into this one. You can see we are here at the beginning of the 2008-2009 NBA season. As I mentioned, I did spend a little bit of time looking for a, shared file that was at least somewhat accurate, right? I tried to get as close to 100% as I could. Obviously, it's not possible just because there's a lot of guys from this era and these years that are not actually in 2K. But I did the best I could. We're going to go ahead and talk about this team right now, this Rockets group, who obviously has quite a bit of talent on it. And our goal as a 29-year-old Tracy McGrady, a 28-year-old Yao Ming, who never were really the same after this actual NBA season. Our goal is to maximize these years and hopefully get them a championship. So let's start out here at the point guard spot. Steve Francis is 30 years old. He's on a 5-year, $62 million contract, and although I think he's a nice overall, I don't necessarily love the age. It is certainly something I'm going to keep an eye on. Steve Francis is a great player. I'm just not 100% sure he's going to be here the entire 3 years. That being said, certainly a possibility we hang on to him for a decent amount of this video. Alan Dudley, I'd be lying to you if I said I knew a lot about him or could really tell you a lot. So I'm just not going to do that. He's 72 overall. I'd like to upgrade the backup point guard spot. All right, Tmac. We all know eventually Tracy McGrady went on to play for the New York Knicks, and then he had a season overseas, played for the San Antonio Spurs. Never actually ended up winning a championship. The closest he came was actually with that Spurs in his final season, and they obviously lost to the Miami Heat. So I'm not really sure what we're going to do here today with the team around him. Obviously, Tmac is staying. That's the point of this video. But he's a 94 overall. I'm hoping that overall does not fall off a cliff. He is obviously on a long-term contract. We will keep an eye on it, but Tracy McGrady, obviously one of the more talented players in the league at this point in time. We got Ron Artest, Mr. Meta World Peace himself. Definitely a very serviceable sixth-man option for us. Of course, could also play him at the 3. We will obviously figure that out. You got Ben Gordon in here, only 25 years old. Raja Bell as well. I feel like I've had Raja Bell in a lot of these throwback rebuilds, but obviously great amount of depth at this small forward spot for us right now. Shane Battier, 30 years old, expiring contract. Going to keep my eye on this. Of course, we do have 2 other players, one being Tmac, other being Artest, that can both certainly fill in that starting small forward spot, but definitely does not hurt. Do I have a guy as good as Shane Battier here? Really good, solid veteran presence. All right, Tony Leonard, Devin George, Scott Paget. I mean, maybe a couple of those names ring a bell, but if I'm being completely honest with you, I'm not really sure what they're going to do for us here in today's video. Power forward spot, Luis Scola. He's 28 years old at this point in time, is an expiring contract, is certainly somebody that is a nice rotation piece to have on this team. Definitely not a star or anything like that, but he's nice to have. And then Russ Hughes, 19 years old. I don't know. I'd be lying to you. I was 8 years old when this was going on. So, Russ Hughes, welcome to Houston. And then the center spot, Yao Ming. This was Yao's final full season in the NBA, being, a very talented NBA player. Obviously, we know that foot injury really derailed his career at a point where it really should not have. So, unfortunate, but Yao Ming, all 7'6" of him. Our goals today, get this man a championship ring. And then we got Jelani McCoy here as well. Certainly a solid veteran backup center option for us. So real quick, I'll just kind of scroll around. Feel free to pause if you want to take a look at a certain team or not. But this is the NBA in the 2008-2009 NBA season. Of course, things look a lot different. This is coming off a season where my Boston Celtics actually got that championship, baby. That was banner 17. Going back this far. But yeah, it was obviously a very, very different league. I mean, LeBron is still here, obviously kind of dominating. You see CP3 there as well, but it's just crazy, man. I wish I was, the age I am now in some way, shape, and form to watch all of these guys who are kind of, I don't want to say almost fictitious figures of my childhood, because that's not true, because I do remember a lot of, watching games with some of these guys, but just crazy, man. I never really got to watch the prime of a lot of these guys that we're going to see in today's rebuild. So it is what it is, man. Our goal is to build a championship squad. We are going to have a few trades before we kick off year 1. Our first trade of today's video is going to be a deal here with the Atlanta Hawks. We're sending out Alan Dudley, Raja Bell, and Scott Paget over to Atlanta for Carlos Arroyo and Michael Bradley. Now, this deal is to obviously land ourselves a little bit of an upgrade at the backup point guard spot. All three of these players we are sending away are on one-year expiring contracts, and all two of the players we are taking back also on one-year expiring deals. So this is just a move kind of for the now. Again, Alan Dudley is only 24, but if I can get an upgrade at the backup point guard spot for a year that we definitely can be competitive, I'm going to do it, especially when I don't have to give up a draft pick. So Carlos Arroyo, welcome to the team. And then our final trade before we kick off year one is going to be a deal here with the Milwaukee Bucks. Jelani McCoy and Michael Bradley, who we obviously just acquired from the Atlanta Hawks, are going to be rerouted to Milwaukee for Andrew Bogut and a 2009 second-round pick. Bogut's only 23 years old at this point. You know, he's a really, really reliable backup center option for us here today, and I think he is an upgrade over McCoy. So that makes a lot of sense to me. He's going to be the backup behind Mr. Yao Ming. We're going to set the rotation. Real quick, I do want to make sure, do we have the 2009 draft class here? We do. All right, Mr. Curry, Blake Griffin, Ricky Rubio, a lot of great players from this draft class, and I think we're going to be too good to maybe get the best of the best, you know, a Steph or a Blake or a Harden or anybody like that, but there's certainly a lot of fun names there we'll keep an eye on. So that being said, let's go ahead and set that rotation. We are ready to go for the start of our first season here in Houston. On paper, this team is incredibly talented. If you're wondering what I did with the little bit of a log jam we have at our shooting guard spot, you have eyeballs, so you can probably figure it out, but I will explain to you in just a second. It's going to be Steve Francis, Tmac. I moved our test from the 2 to the 3. Ultimately, Tmac is a little bit of a better shooter than our test is, and I thought it would be beneficial to have a really good defensive player like Meta World Peace in this starting 5 versus an aging, expiring Shane Battier. So that's kind of my thought process there. Battier will lead the second unit. Backup small forward, could also probably play some backup power forward if needed. Scola is going to start at the 4, and then we have Yao Ming here as my starting center. Bench unit will be led by Shane Battier. Newly acquired Andrew Bogut as my backup center. You got Carlos Arroyo, who's now my backup point guard, and then we still got Ben Gordon and Russ Hughes as the backup 2 and the backup 4. So that's where we're at right now. Again, on paper, team is extremely talented, and I very much expect and kind of hope to be in the mix for a very deep Western Conference. All right, I'll see you guys at the end of year one. We were hoping for a great first season here in Houston, and a great season is exactly what we got. We go 63-19 throughout our first regular season campaign as LeBron James, oh baby, MVP, just insane numbers all across the board, still doing it now. Oh man, Russell Westbrook, your rookie of the year. He is a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Pretty nice numbers. Some of the shooting splits aren't great, but for a rookie point guard, pretty solid. Jermaine O'Neal, your 6th man of the year. He's a Toronto Raptor. LeBron also wins DPOY. Royal Ivy most improved. Every single time I see Royal Ivy, I just have to say, what a name. It's a fantastic name. And Noah Strong, who is our coach, apparently. Again, I'm not going to bullshit you and pretend that I know if this is actually or was actually the head coach of the Houston Rockets. Wasn't, yeah, no, it wasn't. There's no way somebody named, no, not Noah Strong, no. All right, let's get into it a little bit. We are the 1 seed here in the West, as I mentioned. It is a very good Western Conference. Lakers, who actually won the finals this year in real life, take 60 wins and a 2 seed. And the Celtics are the 1 seed over there in the East. All right, let's get into some numbers a little bit. See how everybody played for us. Tracy McGrady was absolutely fantastic, about 30.5 points, 5.5 boards, 6 assists. He was about 57% from the field. As a shooting guard, that's insane. 44% from beyond the arc. Steve Francis, Yao Ming, about 18 and 12. I will 1,000% take that. Artest, Battier, Arroyo, Bogut, Gordon, Hughes, and then Scola. Rebounds, we were led by Yao Ming, and assists was Steve Francis. Okay, it is us and the Dallas Mavericks here in round 1. Jason Kidd, Jason Terry, Edmund Washburn, Dirk Nowitzki, Ryan Hollins, Jerry Stackhouse, Eddie House. Okay, this Dallas Mavericks team is obviously the one that is a few years away from when they actually won a championship in 2011, but they are obviously still very good, and the fact that this is the first round matchup for us in the playoffs definitely makes me a little bit nervous. Good start for us as we go up 2-0, we go up 3-0, and we sweep them. Okay, I guess we really are that good. We are now moving on to the Phoenix Suns. Steve Nash, Jason Richardson, Jermaine Jones, Maury Stoudemire. Oh my God, I forgot Shaq was here. Nate Frazier, who the hell is Nate Frazier? Kurt Thomas, Josh, I don't know who Joshua Bolden. These might just be auto-generated players, but this starting 5 is very good. I don't care that Shaquille O'Neal is now 37. He is still Shaq, and obviously Amari, Steve Nash, Jason Richardson. I mean, this is a very big pain in my ass here for round 2. We split the first 2 at home, go up 2-1. Tied up at 2-2, up 3-2, going to Game 7. Do or die. We die. Okay, not what I was hoping for to wrap up year 1. I'm not going to lie to you. Here's a look at the Lakers team that I'm not really sure we would have compete anyways. I mean, obviously Kobe and Powell would have been really fun seeing, shooting guard and center versus shooting guard and center duo, but it is what it is. It is going to be the Phoenix Suns taking home the championship. Steve Nash, your finals MVP. They defeat the Orlando Magic, who are led by a young Dwight Howard here. Actually, he's really not that young anymore, would he be? No, because he was 2004, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. Yes, he was. He was not the 5th overall pick. He was the number 1 overall pick. Okay. Nonetheless, we don't win a championship here in year 1. Disappointing, but not the end of the world. Still 2 seasons to go. Overall, it was a very promising campaign. We do have to be careful because we certainly have some guys who are approaching 30, if not already 30. So just got to keep that kind of in the back of the mind. Nick Van Exel, Antonio McDyess, Michael Finley, Cherokee Park. Oh my God, a lot of names. Staff retirements, historic changes. So we're changing some logos and some things right now for a couple different groups. We are not one of them. We will hit the draft lottery. Of course, we are, as far as I know, not going to have a pick in here. So it is the Grizzlies, Bobcats, Trailblazers, Jazz, and then Thunder as your top 5. We head up to staff signing. Yeah, I don't know who Noah Strong is. If I was, a betting man, I would say he's probably not a real person. I'm just going to move on. I don't love the ratings, and I think there's some other guys here. Richard Mason. Pretty good ratings there. I just want to see a look at just the head coaches here. So it looks like Richard Mason is the best available option. And, Harold Lyles. Not too bad himself. All right, so a couple different names out there. I'll make an offer here to Mr. Mason. Don't really have a big budget. And then I'm also going to make an offer. Oh, my God. This game makes it so goddamn hard to find head coaches. Who was it? I already forget. Which is not good. Was it Hughes? No, it wasn't Hughes. It wasn't Lucas. It was Lyles. All right, let me offer Lyles as well. Hopefully we get one of them. We get Mason. Completely fine by me. Welcome to the team. Okay, we will now head up to the 2009 NBA draft. Blake Griffin, Steph Curry, James Harden, DeMar DeRozan. A lot of Hall of Famers in this class. I don't really know what we're going to do. We have the 29th overall pick. We can also certainly explore maybe trading up into this draft. I might have a big decision here. It is not often I have the opportunity to draft Steph Curry, and I want to take full advantage of that opportunity. I am not going to sit here and say that maybe rookie Steph Curry would be better than, 30-year-old Steve Francis. You're more than welcome to make that assumption if you want, but I have to give it a shot. I have to try to get Steph. So I'm going to offer Steve Francis in this deal. Russ Hughes is actually the only other player we have under contract. Certainly wasn't, blown away with the minutes he saw this season, so including him in the deal, not the end of the world. And then this is our first-round pick. Obviously, they're not going to take that. We're going to have to give up probably at least 2 to 3 more firsts, which is fine, because if it lands me Steph Curry, who in my opinion is the greatest point guard in the history of basketball, I am certainly going to do that. So let's just maybe take this pick by pick. We get it done. Landing ourselves one Stephen Curry. Obviously, maybe there's an argument to draft Blake, who of course did actually go number 1 overall. See James Harden here. It's Steph Curry. I don't really think it's close. Welcome to the team. And then we do have 2 second-round picks. I'll actually use number 14 overall, but I'm not going to use the other one. So let's just see. Maybe we can, get a steal here mid-second round. Oh, boy. Okay. Tyler Hansborough's here. That's not a name I've heard in a minute, but that is the only name I actually really recognize at all. So I guess Tyler Hansborough is going to be the guy. I don't really know. Welcome to the team. All right. Obviously, getting Steph 82 overall is fantastic. Hansborough is going to be a 70. We move up to team player options. And yeah, it's just maybe about figuring out what else we could possibly do to change this team up a little bit, right? I think we're obviously very talented. I know we're going to have some pretty big free agents. Shane Battier has 6 different offers right now. None of them are really real, and he actually doesn't really want a lot of money. Well, I guess maybe this would be. I'm thinking back. It's 2009. I keep forgetting that. So we'll bring him in or back, hopefully, and then I'd like to retain the services of Mr. Bogut as well. We get both those guys. Unfortunately, Luis Scola, Ben Gordon, all going to be gone entering free agency, so that leaves us in a big and a tough position here at our power forward spot. I can live with letting Gordon go. I don't really want to, actually, but Scola is certainly somebody I'd like to retain. So let me get my other guys back, and then let's see. Can I maybe just look them up here? Sometimes this works. It's a very weird game. Luis Scola. The game will let me resign. This is what I was talking about. It's exactly... Thank you very much. Okay, God bless the stupidity of this game. Is it going to let me do the same thing here with Mr. Ben Gordon? I mean, I certainly have to try, right? It would be dumb not to. Ben Gordon is right here, and I... Oh, God bless 2K. All right, I think we got one more trade. Completely forgot about Carlos Arroyo, who I'd also like to retain. I think I've come to the decision that not only because we don't have a ton of draft picks that we can necessarily move, there's also not a lot of other players under contract that I'd be interested in trading. So the only real change we're going to make is basically adding Steph Curry to this team. And It feels like a pretty big change in and of itself. And then a guy like Luke Walton is going to come in. As much as Tyler Hansbrough maybe could be impactful, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I genuinely believe that. So Luke Walton, certainly a nice upgrade at our backup power forward spot. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. Last year, we had an absolutely fantastic regular season. We made it all the way to the Western Conference semifinals and, of course, lost to the Phoenix Suns, who did go on to win the championship. We decided we didn't want to run this thing entirely back. We made a blockbuster trade to land ourselves the number 1 overall pick and get Steph Curry, who I think is going to be a day one difference maker on this team. You know, we're not going to play with injuries on. I know younger and earlier in his career, he obviously suffered a lot of different injuries, and that's not going to be the case today. So Steph Curry, Tracy McGrady, Ron Artest, Luis Scola, and Yao Ming, bench unit Shane Battier, Andrew Bogut, Luke Walton, Carlos Arroyo, and Ben Gordon. So that is the team 1 through 10. Obviously, a lot of talent, a lot of depth here, and I think this team can make some noise once again. Hopefully, it's championship noise this time. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. 66-16. That's how we wrap up year 2 here in Houston, as Dwayne Wade is your MVP. 33-7 and 9.5. Very deserving stats for Flash himself. Steph Curry does win Rookie of the Year. 23.5 points, about 1 rebound, 7.5 assists. Beautiful shooting splits, except for the free throw percentage. I mean, from his standards, obviously, but I will take that. Fantastic rookie season. Jermaine O'Neal, once again, your 6th man. LeBron James, once again, your depoy. Dude, I wish there was a world out there where the Cavs would bring back these uniforms. I don't know why they don't. I think the Cavs uniforms these days, I think the black ones with the Cleveland logo are cool. Nothing will beat the black ones with the Cleveland logo from like the 2016 finals. Those were elite as all hell. But why they just say Cleveland in like the most basic font? Minimalism is killing sports uniforms. These were cool as shit. Cavs, bring those back, please. Thad Young, most improved player, and Richard Mason, our new head coach, is your coach of the year. A 66-win season in his initial campaign. All right, we were 4 games up on the defending champion Phoenix Suns. Certainly not interested in seeing them, but they will hopefully not make it to the Western Conference Finals. 61 wins in Toronto. They take the 1 seed. All right, let's get into some numbers real quick. Points per game, it was Tracy McGrady, Steph Curry, Yao Ming was still fantastic. Artest, Battier, Walton, Bogut, Gordon, Arroyo, and Scola. Scola is actually not doing very well considering he's 30 minutes a night in the starting lineup. Yao Ming, and then rebounds is Steph Curry. All right, it is us and the Denver Nuggets. Chauncey Billups, J.R. Smith, Carmelo. I forgot Carmelo was here. And then Nay, Roy Hibbert, Chucky Atkins. I don't know who Keith Norris is. Actually, that sounds kind of familiar. All right, a little bit of a challenge here in round 1. I'm not going to lie to you. Of course, they are, just everybody in the West is good at this point. And we're now moving on. Kobe and Pau are officially here, and now we have the unfortunate responsibility of attempting to beat the dynamic duo for the Lakers. So here goes nothing. Good start for us as we go up 2-0. They do win game 3. We win game 4, and we close them out in 5. Now, we are facing the team that not only won it all last year, but also beat us in the Western Conference semifinals. They are very, very good. They have now moved Shaq to the bench for Nate Frazier, whoever the hell that is, but a lot of talent. There's no other way to say it. Good start. We do lose game 3 and game 4. We do win 5. Now we're going to 7. Can we get it done? Oh my God, we do. Holy shit. And now it is us and the Toronto Raptors. I don't know. There's no way Phil Patton and Carlton Fair, these are not real people. They're not. But Jermaine O'Neal, who is a 90 overall and has won 2 straight 6 men of the year. I'm not sure why you can't find a way to get him into the starting 5. With him, really, you got fucking Andrea Bargnani in here? And really? Yeah, okay. Him and Bosch are obviously, a nice front court, but I think we're just way better. I do. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. Not what I was hoping for. Not what I was hoping for. Really? That team's beating us? Are you kidding me? Oh, man. I mean, it's not over, but we got to fight, and we got to hold a lead here. Look at that 4th quarter. I mean, am I being fucked with right now? That's what it certainly feels. Oh, my God. Oh my God. All right, well, I guess I'll just hop in. If you guys have watched me play this game before, you are probably very much aware that I am not exactly very talented at the whole gameplay part of this. So I am nervous as all hell right now. Me trying to work against prime Chris Bosh is certainly not something I'm interested in. Good rebound, Yao. Where is Tmac? Thank you. I would like to get the ball to our best player, and hopefully he can take over this game and force a game 7, because that's... Oh my God. Okay, it's a terrible shot considering it was Yao Ming, but I thought that had a chance to go. Like that. Oh, missed me with that. That that shot, like I looked like I actually got the majority of the meter. All right, back over to Tmac. Tmac's got 47 on the night. Hadn't even seen that. All right, my goal right now is to waste time, but waste it with purpose. I do not know why there's not a shot clock on the score bug, because I continue to look back and forth between the time. I need a screen here from Yao Ming. Just give me an angle to the basket. Tmac goes, oh my God. That was insane. Cock that baby back and throw that shit down. All right. I mean, the worst part about this whole thing is, of course, this isn't actually Game 7, right? This isn't, it's do or die for us, but just because it's do or die now doesn't mean it's not also do or die in a potential Game 7. All right. I want to make sure the starters are in the game. Luke Walton's not a starter. What the hell is this lineup? Is Steph Curry fouled out? Scola should be in. Steph Curry fouled out. All right, well, Carlos Arroyo, lead us to the promised land. Maybe should have looked for a defensive lineup, but I also only really had 2 point guards that I'm comfortable playing. So I need Ron Artest to try to deny ball here. That did not work out as well as I was hoping it would. That is Farrell, whoever the hell that is. As long as they're not getting a 3-pointer off, I can kind of live with it. Because now we're under, the 1 shot clock. I got to get Tracy McGrady the basketball here. Of course, they're going to foul immediately. Obviously makes sense, but I just got to focus. Tmac, who's got 49 on the night, going for a 50 burger right now. I have to focus. I'm terrible with releases from historic players. And I really got to focus. First one is up. Got it to go. All right, that is a good start. Now it is a 2-point game. Still obviously going to be a 1-possession game no matter what, but I have to make it a 3-point game. 64% from the field, too, is insane. He hits that. I'm assuming they're taking a timeout. They are not going to take a timeout. Okay, maybe they're out of timeouts. I didn't even look at the last time that they did take one, but as long... Oh my God, Luis fucking Scola. And Arroyo going to go right to the basket, gets fouled. Okay, I was going to say, if there's no foul there, that's actually kind of ridiculous. But I basically hit a couple free throws here with Mr. Carlos, and this one's all but in the bag. First one up, and it is good. Now it is a 2-possession game. Of course, that is the bigger one of the 2, and now we're just going to hit another one, 5-point game. This thing's hopefully going to be going to a Game 7. Second one for Carlos Arroyo, up, and it is good. This game is basically over. We'll let them, throw up one last shot, do whatever they got to do. But as long as I'm not a complete effing idiot right now, this one is basically over. And Scola again puts it up. Doesn't go. Game 7. I thought I actually played pretty well there. It's rare, but it does happen. All right, we are back here in Houston for a Game 7 on our home floor. Not a great start. Not what I was looking for. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is what I was talking about. This is what I was trying to tell you guys, that I can do all that work and play pretty well, and it might end up meaning absolutely nothing. We lost to, a really, really talented Chris Bosh, and not a lot else. I mean, I know Jermaine O'Neal's there, Andrea Bargnani, but disappointing. All right, well, the pressure is certainly raised a little bit as we enter the final season. Historic changes. They're going to do some logos and some uniforms for a bunch of other different teams. Draft lottery time. We've traded all of our picks. Not that we had any lottery picks anyways, but yeah, man, damn. This is the 2010 draft class. Staff signing, we're obviously pretty happy with, Richard Mason, I guess. We will head up to said 2010 draft class. I will show you guys that draft class. It's Wall, Cousins. I mean, you guys know it. I think Paul George is officially, after Gordon Hayward's retirement, the only remaining active player in the NBA from the 2010 NBA draft class. So kind of crazy. I don't think we have any picks. I'm pretty sure I've traded all of them. I have. It's just fine. Let's head up to team player options. Tyler Hansborough will be brought back. He's probably not going to play, but he could be a trade piece for me. We will take a look here in free agency. Looks like a lot of nice names in free agency. The good news is that we don't have to really risk losing any of our own free agents because we have basically everybody here from last year. It is time to make a trade. We're going to see if there's a way for us to add Charlie Villanueva, who is an 85 overall right now. Would certainly be a nice upgrade at my power forward spot. Now, here's what I'm offering. Battier, Scola, and Walden, all for a little bit of different reasons. Ultimately, we're going to see some more regression out of Battier. Wouldn't be the worst idea in the world to hang on to him as like a 7th or 8th man, but in order to make a serious upgrade in the starting 5, I would be willing to give him up. Scola's been awful, and then Walton, we saw a lot of regression last year. I think we're only going to see more. So I'm obviously willing to offer all 3 of these guys. I would also be willing to include Hansborough in this deal, and wow, that actually got it done. All right, welcome to the team, Charlie Villanueva. We now need to find some backup forwards, obviously backup 3, backup 4. Certainly probably going to give up a little something here on the bench. It's not the end of the world. Quintel Woods, I'm not really familiar with him or his game, but he has a really cool name, so I'm certainly willing to bring him in. And then our backup small forward, really no matter what, is not going to be a fantastic player. Dante Jones, going to be probably a 10th man. That's fine by me. All right, we are at a point right now where we're clearly good enough. We're going to have another year of development for Steph Curry. Obviously, the addition of Villanueva. If this team's not good enough, I don't really know what is. So I'll see you guys at the start of year 3. We were this close to a championship last season, but a Game 7 heartbreak on our home floor obviously did not go our way, and now we are back here for a 3rd and final regular season. that is hopefully going to be really good once again, but really hopefully is going to result in a championship. Steph Curry, Tracy McGrady, Ron Artest, Charlie Villanueva, obviously excited to have him here. Yao Ming remains our starting center. Bench unit has certainly taken a little bit of a hit, but we're also playing the starters some more minutes than we typically have because said bench is a little weaker. So Ben Gordon now a sixth man. Got Andrew Bogut, Quintel Woods, new addition, Carlos Arroyo, and Dante Jones. So I know we're hurting in terms of our 6 through 10, but it's just kind of the reality that we found ourselves in when you want to make upgrades. So I am fine with it. I am content with it. I think this team should be a 1 seed again, and I will see you guys at the end of the final regular season. Another wildly successful regular season here in Houston sees us finish with our best record yet of 67-15. Of course, 3 great regular seasons is awesome. 3 championships would have been a lot better. Now we're kind of scratching and clawing. We're hoping for 1. LeBron James is your MVP. 35, 9, and 7 on insane shooting splits. Good God. John Wall, your Rookie of the Year. Member of the Utah Jazz. Interesting. Jermaine O'Neal, once again, your 6th man. LeBron, once again, your depoy. Dwayne Toscano, Most Improved. Richard Mason, your Coach of the Year. All right, I mean, it is do or die. We have been the 1 seed 3 straight seasons. We were in the finals last year, made it all the way to Game 7. These fucking Phoenix Suns are going to be a pain in my ass until the day that I die, aren't they? Okay, let's dive into some numbers real quick. Tracy McGrady, Steph Curry, Yao Ming, Charlie Villanueva was certainly a nice upgrade at our power forward spot. You got Artest, Gordon, Bogut, Woods, Arroyo, and Jones. Rebounds were led by Yao Ming, and assists was Steph Curry. All right, speaking of the Golden State Warriors, and Chauncey Billups now here, Corey Maggette, Jerome Ramos, Jared there's just no way this team's beating us, respectfully, of course. All right, that is a win in 5. Now the Lakers. Kobe, Powell, obviously still here. Not added. Still have Derek Fisher, Mike Miller here, Kwame Brown. Got Trevor Ariza coming off the bench. They have the best player in the series, no doubt, but I think we're a better overall team. I'll say that. Up 3-1, close them out in 5. Now, we beat the Phoenix Suns last year. They beat us in year 1, and I'd like to do it again and just hopefully get back to the finals this time, win it. I don't want to stress about this. Quick 2-0 lead for us. Up 3-0 now. That's the series we sweep? Okay. Well, we are not rematching with the Toronto Raptors. Instead, we are taking on the best player in the world in LeBron James, and I am very fortunate that he just doesn't have a lot of help here, right? For lack of a better way to say it. I mean, he's got Wally Szczerbiak, who's 34 at this point in time. Got Ben Wallace, who's 36. Oh my God, this should be illegal. It's insane. All right, LeBron's obviously playing out of his fucking mind. I mean, just look at these numbers, but. Again, similar to the Lakers series, obviously they have the best player. We are a much better team. I will stand by that. So, quickly up 3-0 against the Cavs. We get it done. Sweep. Tracy McGrady, your finals MVP. We got Tmac a ring. We got Yao Ming a ring. I know that was the entire goal of this video. And, I was stressed because we obviously started out with a really talented group, and I didn't think it would take this much. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, obviously, we were very, very close, and then we finally broke through. So, very happy about it. As always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. I really like going back to different years and different eras and just rebuilding teams that were never quite able to get over that hump. So, if you guys have any other ideas you want to see, let me know down below in the comment section. Of course, we are trying to kill a month plus full of videos right now until 2K25 does come out. So, I am open to any and all ideas you great people might have. So, that is it for me. As always, thanks so much for watching. Love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.